In this video, I'm going to show you how to perform an event on multiple inventory statements. A common situation for this would be we have an order, and as you can see, this order has 4 line items. We could decrease each one of these by the amount ordered, or we can do them all at one time by selecting them for the cart. You'll notice here we now have 4 statements in the cart, and any activity that we can do individually to one statement, we can do to multiple statements by putting it into the cart. When we click on the cart button, we'll see now that we have all of those options that we talked about earlier. In this case, since we're doing a sale, we're going to be removing these from inventory, so I'll click Remove. And we'll see here the items for the order. We can enter the quantity for each. And if you recall from a very early video, we created a custom event field, a circumstance called event note, and we made that a line item field. And that's why this event note is appearing for each line item of the order. This pin button can be very helpful. It gives you the option to use the current quantity for all the records or to fill all the records with the current quantity. You could come through and just enter the quantity manually, etc. But it's easier in a case like this where these have already been assigned an order number so we know everything is shipping, to fill them all with the current quantity. You could have individual notes because of the way we set up the event note field, or you could copy that note for all the records by clicking the pin button. Okay. Finally, we have an option that if processing the cart results in a statement with 0 quantity, clear the statement. This will become more obvious once we process this, the meaning of that checkbox. But I'm going to go ahead and proceed with this event, and then I'll show you how we deal with 0 quantity records. So here we have our event details. We have the fields that were set up when we created our custom circumstance fields. I'll enter that information right now. And once we click Save, we have now successfully removed all of the items from that order. And what you'll notice here is that the order still exists in our statements, but the quantities are now 0. Whether or not you want 0 quantities to persist is just an individual business decision based on your needs. In a case like this, where we'll probably never process this order again, we can easily clear these. There's multiple ways to do that. I want to show you different options now in dealing with 0 quantity records. The options button allows us to simply hide them. So we can hide records with 0 quantity, and we won't see those anymore. If we show records with 0 quantity, they will appear again. You can also click on the 0 quantity and click Remove. And I want to stress, this doesn't delete any information about the event that happened. You don't lose any information. It doesn't delete the item. It simply removes that statement. You can also remove multiple statements with 0 quantity by selecting them for the cart. And under the cart button, you'll see this option to clear 0 quantity statements. If we click that, then all of our 0 quantity statements that were selected are now gone. Alternatively, if we process another order, if we click this box, this will simply remove the 0 quantity records after the order is done. And now you'll notice there are no 0 records after processing that activity. The cart process works the same whether you're doing an addition, a move, applying serial numbers, applying expiration dates, etc. So the main point I want to make here is that you don't need to do inventory events individually for each line item. You can do them in a group by selecting records and putting them in the cart. Thanks for watching.